I've been thinking about effective teams for years. Why one team rockets ahead while another team similar stalls. And it's always come back to one thing, I think, and that is how safe people feel on a team. You see, when people feel safe, they take small risks that lead to breakthroughs. They ask weird questions and they suggest an idea, and they're not afraid to admit a mistake. Our brains are wired to protect us. The boss's glare at you or a cutting remark can trigger your amygdala, fight or flight. And just when you need to have clear thinking, we lose it. And that's why safety matters. When we feel trust and we become curious, a different mode creeps in. We'll see more options, connect ideas that aren't obvious. Creativity flows. Research, including a major study at Google, showed that the highest performing teams share one trait, and that is psychological safety. I remember a stalled project. There was one of our teammates. Finally, we've exhausted everything. They finally came to the point of saying, why don't we just try X, which ultimately was the opposite of what we had been working on. They could have been shut down. In most boardrooms across the country, they probably would have been. We had a very safe environment in our team. And because we trusted each other, that single idea flipped everything. It turned the project on its head. So I want to leave you with 5 short, hopefully practical things that you can start doing today that will help build psychological safety on your teams. First, normalize mistakes. Say them out loud. When leaders model this, others will follow, right? Your team looks to the leadership to see what they're doing, how they're reacting. Second, ask with curiosity, not blame. Shift from accusations with neutral observations, just matter of fact. So instead of, hey, you missed the deadline, try saying something like, hey, I noticed the deadline slipped. Can we explore what happened? Third, use just like me, that mantra. Remind yourself that the other person has hopes, has fears, has a life outside of work. Any tiny mental move that can be perceived as an attack on that human, on that other person, is going to erode the trust and the safety of the team. Number 4, plan for reactions. Before a tough talk, and you will have tough talks, list your main points and think about the ways that someone might respond, and then think through how you'll reply. Being prepared reduces the surprise and keeps the discussion constructive. Fifth, close with feedback and co-creation. So ask, how did that land? What could I have said better? Or how can I support you? That shows humility, and humility builds trust. Try one tiny thing this week. Share one mistake and the lesson you learned. And then ask the other person, what do you need from me to feel safer? I admit that's going to feel awkward. If this doesn't come naturally, asking somebody else how they can feel safer might feel a little strange. But small, awkward steps are how cultures ultimately change. There's no team that exists without trust. Build it one honest moment at a time. I know you'll get this. Good luck.